This is the Best Buy strategy analysis for Dennis, Peter, Cameron, Jamie, and Jason. We have our introduction, followed by the definition of the organization industry. We'll discuss the current strategy analysis, the issues and challenges, some of the recent performance implications, and then wrap up with our strategic recommendations and a couple of concluding questions. Best Buy was founded in 1966 as The Sound of Music before the name changed to Best Buy in 1983. Best Buy is a brick-and-mortar chain that managed to avoid the demise of its very similar competitor, Circuit City, within the last decade. As a company, Best Buy experienced slow growth up through the 90s, where technology began to become more affordable, accessible, and before the internet was as widely spread. Best Buy was the top reseller for consumer electronics and music through the 2000s, when the recession took an impact on consumers and, by proxy, Best Buy. Best Buy struggled to find its identity, and by the end of 2012, Best Buy stock had hit a 10-year low. Competition from online resellers had increased, the Best Buy brand had suffered, customer service and satisfaction were at a low, and Best Buy had to refocus. Hubert Joly was moved into the CEO position and is there to this day. Prices became more competitive, costs of operations were cut, and a heavy emphasis on the customer experience and emerging technologies, including mobile, dictated the company's new direction. Today, Best Buy succeeds as one of the few traditional brick-and-mortar stores in an Amazon-dominated marketplace. In defining the industry in which Best Buy operates, it's accurate to say that Best Buy is part of the consumer electronics industry. The purpose of defining the industry is to understand Best Buy's competitors and substitutes in regards to both suppliers and buyers. Within the consumer electronics industry, Best Buy is a specialty retailer of electronics, home office products, entertainment software, appliances, and related services such as the Geek Squad technical support service. In regards to the vehicles that Best Buy uses to get their products to consumers, they use a multi-channel distribution system. They have 1,500 brick-and-mortar locations that operate in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. They also allow customers the ability to buy their products online and have them shipped directly to their home. In addition, Best Buy offers a pick-up in-store option in which customers purchase products online and pick up in-store upon availability, which is usually within a few hours. Best Buy carefully monitors and manages inventory levels to match quantities on hand with consumer demand as close as possible. Per Best Buy Annual Reports Risk section, consumer electronics products are highly susceptible to technological advancement and changes in consumer preference. In general, consumer electronic product life cycles, which begin with initial market launch and conclude with maturity or obsolescence, have become shorter and less predictable. This cycle removes leveraging power from existing suppliers, as they may or may not be up-and-coming major players in their space. This trend also removes leverage, as declining market share coupled with limited shelf space puts product space at a premium. In the tech space specifically, new releases do not guarantee revenue or success, also limiting supplier power. Suppliers are not held helpless. One of the main risks identified by Best Buy include predicting and adapting to the market, and specifically determining what the next big thing is expected to be. Not having enough supply to meet demand, especially for a brand perceived as being largely brick and mortar, is a huge loss of face and brand that could bleed customers to competitors. Having access to supply for release, for example, is an area where suppliers can still exert pressure. As far as threat of entry, Best Buy has also introduced in-store pickup for online orders to minimize consumer shipping costs and to incentivize customers to enter the store. This is a dimension that becomes difficult for competitors like Amazon to match due to the lack of physical storefront. Larger companies within the industry experience economies of scale from bulk purchasing of merchandise. Smaller companies do not experience the same economics of scale, but do have less overhead and capital expenses. Customer switching cost is marginal. Existing customers will continue to utilize Best Buy for services on existing warranties and previous purchases, but will not experience any switching cost for new purchases. Best Buy and other industry leaders have extensive distribution channels that would be difficult to compete with for smaller, less established companies. In sum, with 36,000 businesses in the electronic and retail services sector, the market is highly saturated. With low cost of entry for small businesses, threat from competitors on the local level is medium to high. The primary threat from larger competitors is low to medium and comes with companies in related markets expanding into the electronics sector, for example Walmart, Target, Belk, etc. We rate the overall threat of entry as medium. The products offered by Best Buy are mostly considered discretionary or luxury goods, meaning that the amount of disposable income a customer has to spend on products determine purchases. Therefore, a fluctuation in disposable income affects Best Buy both positively and negatively. Specifically, when there is a rise in consumer disposable income, demand of Best Buy products such as televisions and sound systems rises. In addition, recent trends indicate that younger consumers are waiting longer to get married than previous years, creating a larger amount of households in need of products such as television and other electronic devices. This increases the demand for products that Best Buy has to offer. However, there is an intense threat to the industry with the ability for buyers to purchase electronics and appliances from online retailers such as Amazon. These online retailers have low fixed costs because they operate as distribution centers without costly brick-and-mortar locations. In regards to buyer power, due to the nature of the product, the buyer power is extremely high in this industry. With the fluctuating amount of buyer disposable income and multiple supplier options, buyers demand high-quality, price-sensitive products. The market of consumer electronics has a relatively high threat of substitutes when it comes to the different avenues you can purchase your electronics through, whether it be Best Buy, other big box retailers, or online. Most of them carry the same products. When the customer chooses substitutes to Best Buy, they are giving up well-trained and knowledgeable staff in each department of the store, which is something that big box resellers and wholesale clubs currently do not compete with. Further, when you choose to buy online, you give up the chance to hold a tangible product, test its features, and ask questions on how one item may compare to another. Best Buy has strong customer confidence with the training and knowledgeable staff and services that it offers, from replacement parts, service plans, and 24/7 supports on any items that you would buy. With Best Buy's high market share, brand recognition, and high customer confidence in their brick-and-mortar stores, their threat of substitutes decreases from the industry standard to their advantage. Best Buy's main commodity is consumer electronics, and it currently holds a 98% market share. There are numerous sources of rivalry in the consumer electronics industry. Best Buy faces competition from competitors internal and external to the consumer electronics industry. Industry-specific competition comes from GameStop Corp., who owns an 8.9% market share, and smaller regional retailers. External players come from big box retailers such as Walmart and Target, warehouse clubs like Sam's Club and Costco, and online retailers like Amazon. While internal competition has lessened in the last few years due to the departure of Circuit City and Radio Shack, there is still a high level of smaller consumer electronics competitors. In addition, there's been a substantial increase in external players, specifically in the e-commerce environment. Many of Best Buy's competitors have low fixed costs due to their size, which allows them to drive down costs and, in turn, profit margin. This means Best Buy must maintain competitive prices while looking for other ways to gain a strategic advantage. The consumer electronics industry is a mature industry, meaning that its growth rate will be less than that of the overall GDP. This can be seen by the decline in the price index for consumer and electronic product manufacturing. Barriers to exit are low, and this is evident by the exit of Circuit City and Radio Shack from the industry. This is due to minimal product differentiation and higher purchasing costs. Most companies sell identical or very similar brand-specific products. For instance, name-brand HD TVs are available at Best Buy and most, if not all, of their competitors. Best Buy has invested in a service company, Geek Squad, which offers a warranty, repair, and setup service for consumer electronics. If managed properly, this could give Best Buy an edge over online retailers. Online retailers have been and will continue to be a major challenge for Best Buy to overcome. Best Buy's differentiation lies in the fact that so much capital is invested in its PP&E, and that if it isn't continually leveraged in these service segments of the business, they will end up bleeding business to their competitors. Cost-based competition in this highly competitive industry is ultimately a zero-sum game. As the largest competitors in the industry have relatively low overhead in direct comparison, Best Buy will not be successful in simply trying to lower the prices and slash personnel. In point of fact, that was the strategy adopted by Circuit City right before they basically collapsed. Ultimately, improved customer experience and service have kept Best Buy relevant and must be relied upon more heavily going forward. Best Buy has not seen substantial growth in the last few years, and hasn't frankly seen great growth since the 2012 to 2013 fiscal year. This leads to the question of whether or not the market has plateaued. Recent operating income is considerably higher than the previous 2015 to 2016 fiscal year, which seems positive for Best Buy. The store within a store concept has been the latest Best Buy idea to grow their revenue. However, with the recent issues with Samsung products, the Samsung store within a store idea might not be as beneficial to the company as previously hoped. As far as recommendations, Best Buy should leverage existing infrastructure to differentiate itself from online competitors. Using its brick-and-mortar storefronts, Best Buy can provide a local delivery option and curbside pickup for online orders, expand its already successful store-within-a-store program, and provide customer service options not available in online retailers. Leveraging what Best Buy already has in over 1,000 brick-and-mortar locations may be the key to competing with Amazon in the e-commerce section of the business. Currently, Amazon only has 72 distribution centers nationally, and with ramped-up ship-from-store option, you can use all the existing Best Buy locations as their own distribution center to speed up delivery times to compete with Amazon Prime options. With ship-from-store in all Best Buy locations, you can leverage inventory and labor already in the store so you're not incurring additional cost. Shipping locally will also cut down on cost versus nationally with the full distribution centers. Competition like Target has succeeded in introducing ship from store in 450 of its 1,800 locations and has seen an increase from 2% to 26% in its online orders delivered within 2 days. Target also saw web sales increase 26% halfway through 2015, just a year's worth of time into the new added distribution process. With positive numbers like Target has experienced and Amazon and Walmart ever expanding their distribution, now is the time to take advantage of this great opportunity. Another option to increase convenience for customers is to buy online and then pick up curbside. This will be Best Buy's answer to next day or same day shipping from competitors. This gives customers the satisfaction of having an item now with no additional priority cost other than making one extra stop while you're out running errands. This method can be seen as a convenience for mothers not having to enter the store with children, or just having a way to get product you were looking for today without any extra fees or hassle. Best Buy began its store-within-a-store program in 2012 for Pacific Kitchen and Bath and Magnolia Design Center, both products of Best Buy subsidiaries. Since then, the program has expanded to other companies, Samsung, Apple, and Microsoft, to name a few. These store-within-a-store areas in Best Buy allocated for a specific company's product and usually has a dedicated support staff. This plan provides an additional source of revenue from rent paid by each brand and creates additional foot traffic throughout the store. Revenue generated per square foot is a key performance indicator in the consumer electronic industry. From 2012 to 2014, Best Buy increased its revenue per square foot by $90 from $780 to $870. This model allows Best Buy to turn a weakness, the high cost of physical stores, into a strength that's difficult to emulate and serves as a barrier to entry for other competitors. The high level of service previously mentioned is not just related to the store-within-a-store program. Best Buy has also invested heavily in developing a knowledgeable staff to help ensure a good customer experience. This is something that is difficult to recreate in the online world. Best Buy backs these up with the Geek Squad, which provides 24/7 technical support on consumer electronic items sold in Best Buy stores, on-site, via internet, and even offers in-home support. Combining good customer service at the time of purchase along with long-term support gives Best Buy a competitive edge that is difficult to copy in the online retail world. It allows very fast, many times same-day, service or exchanges. These same services could take an online company weeks to process and provide. While we understand price will always be a part of the equation in the consumer electronics industry, we believe Best Buy should avoid direct price competition with its online competitors and instead focus on the benefits it offers its consumers through the brick-and-mortar storefronts. Wrapping up, we did have a few questions for our audience. Do you feel that Best Buy's store-within-a-store gives it competitive advantage over Amazon? And given the competitive nature of the consumer electronics industry, do you feel Best Buy will have trouble maintaining a high-quality workforce? Thank you for your time and listening to our presentation. Please feel free to reply back in the discussion forum with any comments, questions, or concerns with our approach.